Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Ananth, and today we're going to be talking about arrays in Java. So to start off, arrays are defined as data structures that store multiple values of the same type within a single variable. And two key features of arrays are that they are fixed size and zero indexed. And we'll circle back to these key features later on, but just keep them in mind for now. So we need arrays, and we introduce the topic when we have to handle more data. So what we've seen so far is, we have a few values, maybe 3 or 4 values that we store in, 3 or 4 variables. But what happens when we have 20, 30 values that we need to handle? Currently, what we'd be doing is, creating 30 different variables, but that gets really messy really quick. So we use arrays to store all of these into just one variable. And this also gives us the benefit of having a holistic view on all our elements. So to use arrays, you declare by the same way we declare variables so far, where we say the type, name of the variable, but now we're introducing back brackets, which indicate that our variable is going to be an array. We allocate contiguous memory addresses to the array using the new object type bracket of the fixed size. So this is where we have to indicate how many elements our array is going to have beforehand. And what we'll usually see in practice is combining these two statements into one. And a real world example of arrays is the contacts and how they're stored in your phone. So now let's get to some practice. We're going to practice declaring an array of 5 elements, and we're going to traverse this array and find the sum of all these elements. Clips, I'll get started. So first thing I'll do is declare an array of 5 integers. So int r is equal to new int 5. And something to note from earlier, this is where the fixed size nature of an array comes from. We have to specify how many elements are going to be in the array before we even assign values to them. So that's what we mean by fixed size. And now that I have the array declared, I'm going to assign every index a particular value. So at index 0, we have, 10, and array of 1 is equal to 20. And before I go on and fill out the rest of the array, another thing to note is that this is what we mean when we say arrays are zero indexed in Java. Essentially, you don't start at 1 the way you would normally count. The first value in the array is at index 0. So I'll just fill out the rest of the values real quick. All right, so now that I have all of the values filled, and I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I can go on to find the sum. But another thing to note is because arrays are of fixed size, if I were to assign a value to array 5 by mistake, this would lead to an index out of bounds exception, which we want to avoid. So now that I have the array created and values assigned to each index, I'm going to find the sum of the entire array using an outer variable and a for loop. So in this case, I'll just say for int I equals 0, I is less than r dot length. And another thing to note real quick, when we're iterating through the entire array, we want to say that I is less than r dot length. And we are allowed to do this because this is the only other piece of information arrays have. They know how many values they're assigned at creation. So this would be replaced by 5. Now we'll go through and just add every value to the sum variable. And we'll do this by indexing at index I. And essentially what this means is we'll first go through get array the value at index 0, value at index 1, 2, and so forth. And after we've done this, we should be able to print out the sum. And just to verify, and there we have it. We have 150 right here in the console. So we've successfully found the sum of our 5-element array. Now that we've done some coding practice, I just want to point out real quick what an array would look like in a memory map. You have an object that points to the heap, and the only two things you have are the length of the array and then a list of every single value. And now a recap of everything we've covered today. Arrays are elements that store multiple values of the same type in just a single variable. And this helps us a lot when we have a lot of data and we need to simplify, efficiency and access. And something to practice moving forward by yourself is getting comfortable with for loops and array indexing. That's all for today. Thank you.